is written based on the experience in the industry, what happened in the corporate world, and then they merge it with theory and then they put in the book. So I think I really recommend two of the best book that you may read. But if you want something more advanced, you can go for this one is more advanced, which I have. Okay, I'm getting up now and I'm grabbing the book from my shelf. And where is it lah?
Wow, doctor, you have lot of
Mana
books.
pula pergi. Okay, okay. Oh, okay. So I have that and I have these guys, Thompson, Strickland, and Gamble. So you see, where am I? Where's the camera? Okay, you see how thick this is, very thick. Thicker than David. Okay, now for serious executive, if you are thinking of running a company, you might want to get them. I do not have the soft copy of this, but if any of you are cool and talented enough, creative enough to find a free I'm not advocating this because this would be like so long as you don't infringe on the copyright, and see whether you can get I will screenshot this later. This is Thompson, Strickland, and Gamble. Very good. This is more detailed. Right. So for senior level will be very good. But some people talk about middle management lah, senior management lah. I think soon that will be what senior, what junior, especially when you guys are going to be entrepreneurs, or some of you are already entrepreneurs, right? You are the junior, you are the middle, you are the senior, you are everything, isn't it? The entire pyramid. You equal to the entire pyramid. So you definitely need this book. Right. But okay, if you sometimes you get so panicked and so much information overload, you open the book and then you don't understand. Alamak, you read 2-3 times, it's in English, but to your head it sounds like German, so you can't. Okay, you can give me a call. And Dr. Helen, help, can you please explain? I can help to explain. All right, so no problem. Okay, so I put this back. All right. Okay, so that's the coolest thing. The best thing is I know where my books are, so I can always find them. One row of strategy book. All right, so we have talked about, so now like Uncle Thompson, that was Uncle Thompson just now, Thompson and his friends Strickland and Gamble. Remind me to take the picture of that book, but if you already got the book just now, that's very good. If somebody managed to get the soft copy of the book, please share. I would love to carry that soft copy as well. With a travel, I can't be bringing that. Oh, it's very heavy. Okay, and what did we look at Tesla? So Tesla. And we know now the value of Tesla will be very high. Now, strange thing, young people, listen carefully. Let me put this puzzle to you. See if anybody can give me an answer to this puzzle. Tesla. And then Tesla is it makes rocket. It makes what else did it make?
Electric car?
Now something to travel underground from LA to California. What do they call it? Monoloop, Hyperloop? I can't remember. If anybody can Google that, Hyperloop. You go underground and you travel from LA to California.
Yeah,
So I
Elon
was
Musk.
really imagining that if only I can travel from Pasir Gudang to UTM, using that Monoloop or Hyperloop system that Elon Musk was talking about earlier this year in June. Actually, he talked about that. What do I have to do based on the concept that he talked about? All I have to do is get into the capsule, go underground, and then there's a vacuum power that will suck the capsule. So then the next thing, I open the door, I would be in UTM Skudai. I don't have to drive. It's wonderful, young people. If I can have that, I don't have to. So he talked about that, because the surface would be like all, jammed packed. So to say, who knows? In the next 5-10 years, no one buys the 4-wheel car anymore. Probably people just buy something so simple, and then all you have to do is like go underground like worms, and then we all start behaving like worms. So he had that capsule, Hyperloop and Monoloop. All right, so that's Tesla. And okay, the puzzle is this. All right, Tesla is now undisputedly one of the very known traditional car making vehicle, right? I can actually summarize that Tesla is the focus of Tesla is mobility, or mobile in Indonesia, about mobility, how to move something or someone from one point to another point. That is the business of Tesla, the core business of Tesla, mobility. Either it's by car, but go by, on the land. So so on the land, then he would go very specific on the land from one point to another, but powered by electric vehicle, EV, which gave them the market cap of 1 trillion, as we spoke last week. And then what else from one point to another? From Earth to the space, and that is the SpaceX. Now, another point is like from one point to another underground. That is the monoloop and hyperloop. So that is his core business. So you see, one day you would define yourself that. But isn't there anybody else who did, like, for example, like from one point to another? So many car makers out there. But how on planet Earth did Tesla, Elon Musk, can suddenly come out and become the most valuable and make Tesla the most valuable auto maker in the history ever, and the most valuable automobile maker in the history? Ford has existed for God knows how long. They pioneer the car, the automobile, and then you have GM Motors, and then you have, okay, now look at the Japanese market. You have all this Toyota, Mitsubishi, but none of them reach the scale of Tesla, all right, with the EV. Now, if you looked at the sales, okay, so the puzzle is this. If you look at the sales, right, Ford is selling more car than Tesla, quantity-wise. Listen carefully, all right? More car. Ford is selling more car. Actually, you can say that Ford is having, generating more sales compared to Tesla. Now, how then can Tesla be way, 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 way more valuable than Ford and any other car makers? If you have the answer, go to the chat, and for whoever can give me a very good answer, I will think of something. You might have a good lunch next week. I'm going to buy you a very good lunch. So remember that. I'm not going to repeat the question. Whoever get the question and get the right answer, okay, expect yourself a very nice surprise next week. All right? So I look forward to see in the chat your opinion on this. I repeat just to continue. Why is it? What makes Tesla, all right, the market capitalization, the value of Tesla is way, 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 way manifold higher than Ford, while Ford actually sells more car compared to Tesla. All right. Now, coming back to here. So, okay, before I was thinking, actually, I can stick to the slide and I can stick to the syllabus and, go with chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, the usual, how we proceed with things. But I don't think that's going to be beneficial for you. All right, because in real life is not linear. Nothing is straightforward. Now, what we do is that chapter 1, we had looked at that before this, the essential. So we walked through that last week. Please remember some terms and some words. Okay, what is strategic management, the art and science of decision making? Please get it into your memory so that you understand that sometimes strategic planning requires a lot of components, a lot of your wit, your network, who you know and what you know all blend into one in order to get the strategy to take off. Especially important if you are the senior management, if you are the owner of the company, if you are the founder, you've got to remember that. Just that definition itself actually can fire you up, can give you the clue of what next to do if all else seems failing. Go back to basic. Now, what was the definition again? Then you understand what art and science. What does it mean by the science of decision making? What does it mean by the art of decision making? Start looking into the component of the arts and science. So that was in chapter 1. Now, once you know that, I think then the next thing to do is, let's say if you're running a company, even if you are the senior management of the company giving advice, then definitely the the purpose of the existence of any organization or even a country or even a state or even a village or even a family or even myself, all right, I would have to have, I would have to have a further view than what I am looking at today. So that means I will say I would have to have a vision. All right. Now, everyone would have vision, but how far? That's one issue. How far is your vision? And the scope of your vision, would that be very narrow scope of vision or is that a very wide scope of vision? And when you have a wide scope of vision, all right, do you stay within the plausible, what we call the plausible future, something that is difficult but not impossible to achieve or to commit to? Or are you looking at something that's quite impossible? Meaning of impossible here is like the future of the impossible is something that is really a mystery to all of us. For example, like the end of the black hole. So it's very mystery. No, nothing that ever goes into the black hole ever come out. Okay, black hole never vomits anything out. So please, all of you, when you do your space travel, remember, if you still want to come back to Earth and to eat some, Earth food, do not enter the black hole. If you do, you might never come back. I might never see you. Your family might never see you. And be prepared for whatever that is at the other end of the black hole. Okay, just a reminder. Who knows, in the next 10 years, traveling means like outer space for everyone, right? I mean, Elon Musk shown that that's quite possible. So that is a plausible future. So here,
It's
now,
possible through the future.
There you see. So when all of us have the vision, but again, there are variety of levels, and then when we have the vision, and then depending of the person, sometimes, a visionary person, you would have a group of people, they have the vision and then they have the mission. They said, okay, I'm going to do all this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order to get there. Some people would say they have the vision, but they say, oh, I'm too exhausted. How to get there? Cannot. No, this is no one will work. Okay, you have all the negatives, so and therefore the mission is negate. So you negate your mission, and then therefore the vision will be just a dream, hanging there. And lo and behold, someone who has the same vision as you and know that it is good and put the mission in place and put the strategy in place and drive it would make it big. While you will be looking from far, like, yeah, I thought about that before, but there you go. You stop at your mission. Okay, something to think about. Now,
Betul juga.
as I have shared with you, the trip that I went to Malacca. Then after the Malacca trip, we came back and we did the future thinking and foresighting and all that. So I think I would like to teach you that, to introduce that to you. Last week we had a session of that as well in the big banquet hall with the researcher group, all the top researcher in UTM representing 4 key research groups, research on water, research on energy, research on materials, and research on robotics. So 4 groups were sitting down, try to do future thinking. Not easy for them because they are researchers. Not easy. They were like struggling. They keep, some of them keep being held back by current constraints. So you see, so this is where the training is very important. Okay. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you how to do futures wheel. So this is a little bit of different from your textbook. Once we do why do we do futures wheel? What is futures wheel for? Futures wheel is from this point. What is this year? 2021. We try, the mind now try to travel to the future. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and try to have a glimpse of what what happens along this year in the interval of every interval of 5 years. And then you see, if I tell you now, imagine 2014, it will be quite tough. So we have to do it incrementally later, you see. So you think of something like 2020, 2025. and then 2030, built on 2025. So when you say, what do you think, this is going to be likely going to be like this in 2030, so you have to build it upon 2025. I hope you get me, right? And then 2030, 2035, 2040. So young people, yeah, I would like to remind you, whatever you do behind the screen, listen carefully, because in future you want to get this knowledge, you have to pay thousands and thousands of probably US dollar for the knowledge that I'm teaching you today. So you might want to listen carefully and get it free today and listen to that. All right. And okay, so when you do that future, you do a little bit of future traveling, and then I will teach you then later on how to do some anchoring, decision making. You make decision in the future. Body is still here, but the mind is in the future. And then, your mind and body, though a little bit separated, but still intact together, try to make decision in future. And you say, this is the future that we want. So you see, there are many types of future: the preferred future, the alternative future, and the used future. I will teach you that also later. And when you said, okay, this is the preferred future, and then we do what we call, I will show you later, maybe if not today complete, I will show it in that class, then how to do backcasting, how to come back to the present time, and then said, okay, that's going to be the future that we are going to shape. So that is how then your vision and mission becomes so powerful. So we hope to introduce this. We will see this for the preparation of your strategic plan document. You would have this element. Okay, I'm going to use the material which I use in Malacca. I'm going to share that with you, and I'm going to give you the lecture on that later on. So please, whatever you do, tell your family, tell your brother, sister, little one, for the next later when we start, for the next like 15 minutes, tell them not to disturb you. You need your full concentration. Okay, all right. So and then we will go very quickly to chapter 5, vision and mission, and then we will do a case study. Now for that case study, you're not going to do features wheel. You're going to look at the case study, vision and mission, the same thing you did on Tesla last week, but this time I want this on individual basis. Why? Because you need individual marks. Okay, so by now you would be so savvy already. You look at the vision, you know how to comment. Is it futuristic enough? Is it ambitious enough? Da, 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 da. And then the mission, you look at the component. Either the 9 components are there. Remember the 9 components? Remember there are 9 components of mission. Do not forget that. Okay, like customer, philosophy, etc., etc. It's all in the book. Then you do that. Because I will give you 30 minutes to prepare that. That is number 3. So you'll be given time. I want you to complete it during this session today. Just want to make sure that you really force your mind to think whether you answer perfect or not perfect. That will be like, different story. So I just want you to really force yourself, and then you upload that in e-learning later. Okay. And then we will watch some movie clip. I'm going to conduct a short survey on this movie clip just to loosen you up a bit. Strategy is not all that boring. In fact, the best people who can come up with the best strategy, usually the one that know how to have fun. The humorous, they know how to have a very good humor. All right. So that's that. Okay, now. Okay, let's take a very short break. I know it's very early to have break. I give you 3 to 5 minutes to prepare yourself, to set yourself up. If you have not set yourself up, make yourself a cup of coffee if you need to, run to the toilet if you need to. So 5 minutes. I'm going to start with the futures wheel. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the slide. The slide is not in e-learning yet because I didn't have enough time to upload that yet. It's just now. Okay, so 5 minutes, folks. Corporate niche strategy template. you all young people. So I'm very happy also to share this knowledge with you. Okay, then you can switch your camera off. Let's start. Okay, so do you see the slide that I'm displaying here? It's rather small, I know, because I used A4 actually when I presented to them. But is this okay for you, the vision? Can you see this?
Yeah,
You
okay.
know?
Yes, Doctor.
All right. I decided to focus on futures thinking and foresight this year upon realizing that these are the things that are really necessary for us Asian people in Asia. Okay. One of the things that about us Asian people, even South Asian, I know like Sabah, South Asian in Bangladesh, we tend to be very rational people. 1 + 1 = 2, nothing else. It cannot be two something. So, while it is good to be very precise and scientific, sometimes it can be very limiting, So, because none of us really know the real truth out there. The truth that we know now has been defined by somebody who exists before us. And of course, fine, yeah, they have some proof. But then again, why not? Because we believe, I personally believe, if we can try to forget being too rational for a while, we would be surprised by the fact that there are many more things that are yet to be discovered. Only if we allow ourselves to say, what if it is wrong, I try again, what if, and what if. Okay, so now let's do that. Let's give it a try. So the prerequisite for this is forget being irrational. Forget being rational for a while. Leave your bounded, your cognitive bound rationality. Forget about I only believe what I can explain. Try to believe what you cannot explain. All right. So here we go. Let's start this. I would like to start with why this is very important, the concept of niche that is in the middle there, the yellow arrow with the question mark. All right. The reason why I started to talk about this to top management, and in fact, like I mentioned to you, I'm going to do some work in other places in December and January, not only in the university, somewhere, and might be in other corporate world. After this is going to be after 1 or 2 projects, I think it will be more. It's because it is very important for you to carve a place for yourself. Again, I'm taking a look at Tesla. There are many cars. I ask you, we still have not hear the answer from you guys. Ford had been making cars for so long, almost a century, and then sell more car than Tesla. But how is it that Tesla is more valuable in terms of market cap? The value of Tesla is by leaps and bounds compared to Ford. So this is what we call. This is because Tesla found a niche, all right, a niche. But this is not the answer to my question just now. Okay, Tesla found a niche where. What is the meaning of niche? Because I talked about this with the top management because I noticed that so many people talk about this is our niche, but without really understanding the true meaning of the niche. Because if you have the niche, man, you own the market. You own the market. But if there are others with you in the market vying for the same thing, that's not niche. Okay, let's take a look. What is niche? Niche is the green circle there. Do you see the green circle? Niche is the green circle. The green circle is you. That is what you can offer, your core competency, your strength. All right. The thing that you can offer, that's the green. So when it coincides with the blue, somebody wants it, right? This is what I can offer, and I am so good at it. This is my core competency. I am good at doing this. And then somebody wants it, the blue circle there. So we have some sort of like overlap, I supply, you demand. So there's a market demand. And that market demand can be seen, can be described as opportunity. So here, supply and opportunity meets. So opportunity equals demand. And then that is where, wow, life is good. We have transaction. We are in business. All right. However, however, do not forget, there are other people as well with the same core competency with you. Maybe the same, maybe even better. All right. Now, when you have that, that is the red circle. So you see how the red circle now start eating up to the place where your circle is overlapping with the opportunity or demand circle. So that means now you have to share with this red guy. The exclusive relationship you have with the opportunity and demand now becomes smaller. Young people, are you with me? Do you understand what I'm explaining so far?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, very clear, right? So now you right? So you see now the red circle now, you see the stronger your competitor will be, the smaller your exclusive overlap with the opportunity, with the customer. You can translate the opportunity as demand, as market, as customer. So you see, that is why usually what people will do, they will always wanted to have the monopoly. And this is where the monopoly, that means you really totally edge out, you kicked out your competitor, and the overlapping will be just your circle and the demand circle customer. You are the only sole provider that is absolute monopoly. In instances where you cannot have absolute monopoly, what you do is, this is where you work together with your competitor to ensure no more competitors coming in, joining the club. So this is why usually, anybody want to try? What do you call this in economy? If you ever heard this, I'm not sure whether you study economy or not. Okay, I'll give you example. For example, like oil producer in the world, when they get together, what do we call it? Oil what? Beginning with C. The letter is C.
OPEC.
Yes, OPEC. So how do you describe OPEC? There's a C. The word is C. Cartel. That's right. So that's why when you competitors, okay, let's get together lah. Let's not fight each other lah. For example, here you see, let's share that overlapping. No need to fight each other. Win-win. So then you have the co-opetition where competitors collaborate together in order to ensure, all right, at least you monopoly the supply, and then you have the cartel. So you see the price will be heavily regulated and controlled. They determine the price. That's why you look at the oil prices in the world, it is controlled by the OPEC. That is the best example of monopolies get together. They competitor will be too strong that you cannot kill each other, because underneath your ground, both of you, maybe 3 or 4 of you have oil, right? But the key thing is that you then say, in order to control price, you don't want to fight each other, because you would have a situation. Let's say if you don't have cartel, Mr. A will drop the price, because you can fight each other using prices. You see, drop the price, drop, and then you want to fight back, you drop. So customer very happy, but you guys, the supplier would suffer. So the other way, so for you not to suffer, that is, okay, let's not drop the price, let's get together, let's control the price. So everybody has to agree that you have the cartel controlling the price, monopoly. Now, all right, but that is one story. But if you, despite all that, if you still want to keep the sweet spot to yourself, the one thing that you must do is to have a niche. So the definition of niche, please remember, young people, in future, if you want to use the niche, or if your bosses want to use the niche, you knock their head and tell them, okay, this is niche. Okay, until and unless you have something like this, don't call it niche. Niche would be, you have the core competency. And in fact, not only core, it become like distinctive competency. Distinctive meaning what? Say the name of the product, people automatically know that's you. Okay, iPhone, Apple. Who else? Something like that. Okay, electric vehicle, EV, Tesla. Something like that. Okay, in the olden days when we were young, toothpaste, we don't call it toothpaste, we call it Colgate. Go to the shop, hey, can you buy Colgate or not? Come back with Dali. It's okay. Dali is still Colgate. Why? The branding is so strong. You know what I mean? During when I was young, go buy Maggie. Come back with Chintan, whatever. It's okay. Still Maggie. Because, we understand mi segera, instant noodle, all is Maggie. Same thing with all toothpaste are Colgate. Right? So in this case, people remember you, stick by you. So you have the distinctive competency and the customer is queuing up for you, even if a limited, a small segment of customer, but a very specialized segment of customer, and the competitors are not there yet. I have a very interesting question. When I helped the National Heart Institute, Jantung Negara, to develop the strategic plan. So I was asked one question, but Dr. Helen, niche, if we put the strategy like this, and then we said we want to create niche, but we cannot, but competitor will come and chase juga. I mean, what's the point of doing all out to create this niche? Because competitor will soon catch up. Sure. I said, definitely. Definitely. That's why innovation must comes in. You must keep running away from your competitor. You cannot stand there like I have, for example, like I have already achieved this something, and then you stand there not doing anything, and and then keep talking about the glory every day until 5 years or so, still talking about the past glory. All right? No, the competitor are not static. The best thing, okay, no, the worst case scenario, they will copy whatever you're doing, copycat. That's why you have the copycat in marketing strategy, right? So I said, but so long as even at the briefest of time, at the smallest time, at the smallest window of time, or the briefest of time, that you conquer the market, lead the market, people will remember you, even at the smallest. And that's why if you have the distinctive competency, it will help you to have an R&D in your organization. Why? Because you need to keep innovating, make it better and better, so that now, according to, let me show you. These guys are so awesome. According to this guy, from 0 to 1, you can, okay, if you want to have time, please buy this book. This is very good. I just got this one. He said that to ensure your niche will remain your niche, I repeat, to ensure that sweet spot will remain yours. Why do we use the word remain? Because competitor can chase you. All right. You must make sure you are 10 steps ahead, 10 times better than your competitor. 10, 1, 0. That's what he said. Okay. All right. And that is supported by this guy, Kai Fu Lee, the one who very successful guy who supported 5 artificial intelligence startups, the biggest in history, Kai Fu Lee. And when I come back from Malacca, and then I saw his book, in Malacca, I was talking about 2040 with my people. And when I come back, this guy come up with a book of 2041. I said, yeah, this is a race to the future. And then when I look at his book, yeah, he talked about that as well. So that is why, but how to become 10 times faster than the rest, better than the rest? That is where you need technology to leverage you. That is where technology comes in. All right. So technology will become the enabler. All right. So therefore, research and innovation powered by technology, and of course your assets, all your human asset, your talent, you get the best talent, that can guarantee you 10 times the 10 figure ahead of others. That is what Google said all that are doing. Now, coming back here. So that's why we are in this conversation is because we want to be 10 times ahead of others. So when we talk about 10 times ahead, apart from technology that makes sure you are ahead of people, okay, that means your speed is faster. The other way of maintaining your niche or market leadership is when you think ahead of time. And that is futures thinking and foresight coming here. Now, this guy, I'm not sure whether you know him, this guy wrote about going to the moon in 1865. We all know at that time, we can imagine, surely people around him think that he is a dreamer. What? Go to the moon? We can't even fly like a bird. If we at least can fly like a bird, then we can probably fantasize about going to the moon. 1865, there wasn't even aeroplane, right? There were few attempts on making submarine. The idea of making submarine was quite early and then very hilarious as well. What do, right? They have a boat and then they sew up the animal skin and then cover the boat like capsule and then put it underwater and it got stuck in the mud. If you can read that, you can laugh. It's very cute how they start the submarine idea. I think in the 15 to 1600. But I would love to be friends with that kind of people because they are adventurous. Stuck lah. After stuck, then you unstuck lah, right? Isn't it? So long as you invent something, but that's fine. Now coming back to Jules Verne, he did also talk about submarine, 20,000 league under the sea. All right. So 1865. But then it's only 1919. I can't remember, all the first aeroplane, the Wright brothers, 1919 something. Before or after the Spanish flu, I can't remember. I need to check my history. But we all know 1918, 1917, and then the first flight, human first flight. And then in early 1960s, the President John F. Kennedy, he delivered that very famous speech challenging the United States people, by the end of this decade, we must put man on the moon. And he had that speech in 1961. And then he had a very beautiful speech. If you can, you find that speech. It's not too long. He said that we wanted to do this not because it's easy. We wanted to do this because it's difficult. And that is precisely why we are doing it, because it's difficult. We want to show that we can, if we put our heart, mind, and soul, all right, into the difficult. So this is a very nice, beautiful concept. Now, and we all know, though some people say it's a hoax, like impossible to put man on the moon, there's some conspiracy theory, but we all know actually man did landed on the moon in 1969, all right, July 1969. On the 18th of July 1969, man stepped on the moon, and that is 104 years later. 104 years ahead. Jules Verne is 100. Jules Verne thinking is 1 century ahead of other people at that time. Too advanced lah. So he did not live to see Neil Armstrong, right? Imagine if he saw Neil Armstrong, he would say, I told you. It's possible, right? But at that time, he just couldn't tell people that it was possible. But now you and I know it can be done. Something as audacious as that back at that time, it can be done. So if you talk about something so audacious, what I mean by audacious is like, sure, man, really? No, impossible. You never know. Okay, so try, if you can, maybe put something so audacious, put in the bottle, then after that give to your grandchildren and see whether it's possible. Then your grandchildren can tell, grandchildren can tell the neighbors that your great grandpa or grandma, that is you guys are so futuristic. Okay, so what did he write? These are all his book. 80 Days Around the World, Mr. Fogg, Phileas Fogg and his companion, they had a bad travel around the world, 80 days. journey to the center of the earth. I think some of you in Form 5, I think you all study that. I think in high school we had this. We studied Jules Verne. Jules Verne book. Put in the chat if any of you study Jules Verne book. Which Jules Verne book did you study when you were in high school? All right, just type in the chat. And then you have 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I really love this one. This is about Captain Nemo, who gets so fed up with human being on Earth because of corruption and etc. So he assembled the components of a submarine. So he escaped to the sea, to underneath the ocean to escape human being. Okay, if you guys are tired of human being, tired of attending classes online, okay, build your own submarine ship like Captain Nemo. So what is the name of his submarine? Nautilus. So nice, eh? Nautilus is the name of the ship. So you can, go to the ocean and claim yourself the kingdom of the ocean down there, like Captain Nemo did. I really love reading the book. It's like you have to, some sort of like escapism when you read. And the smart thing, Jules Verne even thought about this, that Captain Nemo didn't want people to know how he assembled the submarine, that he actually, the engine was like invented. The engine of the submarine is manufactured somewhere. The different parts of the submarine was like manufactured in different places, and the assembly of that Nautilus is in secret, because Captain Nemo didn't want people to know. And that's exactly what Boeing did and Rolls-Royce. The engine is somewhere, and then the assembly of the complete aeroplane was in France or something like that. Okay, you can read on that. All right. So all of that. He even wrote about All Around the Moon. See? Right. Now, this is the serious part. Before we go, understand some definition. Number one, I have only 6 words for you to remember today. Let me see. Am I right? 6. Yes, 6 words. All right. 6 words. Number one, I think I will make this into a quiz later on. See whether you remember. Used future. Used future is an image of the future that we say, oh, this is the future. But actually, it is no longer the future. Future for us, but already past for some developed world. That is used future. All right. For example, the future of Malaysia car industry is electric vehicle. That is a used future because Elon Musk already have it. The future for us is aerospace exploration. Forget it. China already have a space station, the Heavenly Palace, which they launched earlier this year. Was it January or February? All right, they already have it. That's China this year. But of course, Russia and United States, they already have the Hubble station, the whatever space station, the MIR, they already have it like many years ago. So used future is an image of future pursued even though the environment has changed. All right. For example, here is a very good example. I will explain to you further, but listen carefully what I'm going to explain to you. The 1990s development goal for developing countries, for example, which often pursued images of the future from developed country. These images, development goal, especially this is talking about the MDGs, okay, Millennium Development Goal, MDGs from United Nations. They talk about what? Large industrial park, highway, tall building, and other signs of modernization. That is why when developing country try to catch up with this, but in a very low level of readiness, that's why we have problem. Because technologically, knowledge-wise, we are not prepared for the consequences of this idea of development. So it has to, because it has to come together. So therefore, we are not ready for that, and therefore pollution, so bad, inequality, so bad. I'll give you another example. That is why the idea of SDG, I remember very well when I was in Singapore, when SDG come first. When SDG was introduced by United Nations, if you care to check the Singapore government website, they have like, the reply was something like, maybe they changed already, but at that time I remember, like, thank you very much. But we already have very good practices done in the country. However, thank you. Meaning, thank you, but we have done this, we have something for our own people. you know, how do I put this nicely? You know, I don't have to agree with you. That's what at that time. And I thought, wow, this is really daring. Right? So this is where what others think of us, others use let me see how best. Let's just say the used future here is the redundant future. So very careful. That's why very careful not to put the redundant future in your vision statement because nothing can be worse than that. Okay, redundant future. Now, second word today, alternative futures. Alternative future is that the idea that there will be many type of futures that can exist, many possibilities. That's the meaning of alternative futures. I will show you through the futures wheel later on why we talk about alternative futures, meaning because the future have not happened yet, there could be other alternative story. You can have different versions of what might happen. That's the alternative futures. And the beauty of that is because it is so far distant and not yet happened, along the way, if you put your heart and mind to it, you can influence it. That's it. All right. So keep that at the back of your mind. Yeah. Uh, why the concept of alternative future is very important. All right. And then next, the third one would be we are talking about a lot about future. Ooh, now only we know so many type of future. Disowned futures. Disowned futures is when in our heart and mind or in our thoughts, in our wisdom and whatnot, we know, but we ignore. All right. So here, let me read this. Scenarios where alternative points of view have been unconsciously ignored or overlooked. Okay. And then this on future, the dialectical opposite are especially useful in looking at how stakeholders see a particular issue, compelling them to ask why alternative points of view have been left out and why. All right. And why do I have why? Okay. I think there's a mistake there. So, and then this on future leads to more robust and integrated strategies. Apologies. Sorry about that. So when I do strategic planning, I would always encourage people to think of alternative future and combine with the disown future, things that people do not think about. Then you would have people in the group, yeah, huh, I never thought about that before. Right. Like, wow. So that's the disown future. And then you could see that disown future actually very much the alternative futures. Three down, three more to go. Preferred future, an ideal future scenario. All right. Preferred futures tend to be made up of participants' desire and assumptions. Good. What you want and what you think will happen. That's preferred future. All right. And preferred future always have a disowned future counterpart. What does it mean? Sometimes people can be so decided to go this way, so much so until they forget about other potential. Meaning here, all right, when you are so, can I use the word bias here or maybe bent on the preferred future? Sometimes you might tell your group or yourself, let's focus on this. Let's not focus on that. Even I myself also, it happened to me. So I think the balance here is this: while we focus on the preferred future, do not overlook the disowned future. Then only you will have a good alternatives. So then the three come nicely: the preferred future, the disowned future. So the entire thing would be the alternative futures. Okay. I hope it's okay. Now, four down, two more to go. The fifth word today, foresight. Foresight is a discipline related to future studies that examine emerging threats and opportunities and use scenario to make sense of the social change. Okay, so few words there. Uh, so foresight is emerging. The word emerging. Okay, threats and opportunities would be issues or factors, yeah, but the key word here is emerge, something that comes out of one issue, and then issue number one now come, it it escalates into issue number 2 and then number 3, number 4. So you have like emerging, all right, and scenario, and then change, and then social. Why social? Because human beings are involved. When there are human, there is social. All right, socio, because social is about human um, interaction, right? So traditionally, foresight work looks at time horizon 5 to 15 years. So that's why you see, strategic planning. If you look at it, okay, I complete the whole thing first. Traditionally, foresight work looks at a time horizon of 5 to 15 years, with longer term foresight practices extending to 20 years, in contrast to future studies, which typically look at time horizon beyond 15 years. All right. Foresight differs from strategic planning, which typically deals with 5-year flat. That is why the title I'm sharing with you is that future thinking and foresight. Foresight would be between 5 to 15 years. Future would be like going beyond that. So is foresight part of the future? Yes, but medium length. Strategic planning is only 5 years. That is why strategic planning can be limiting at the same time. While some people thought strategic planning is futuristic, but a great many people, when they do strategic planning, they will strategize based on used future, and then at the end, like, so what impact, right? So that's why this year I was talking to the top management. Said no, we cannot do it the old way. I think Malaysia also in future need to change. We cannot be stuck with everything strategic planning in a 5-year span and all that. I said, why don't we just go to the future, go a little bit like, okay, foresight, maybe just beyond foresight. And then after that, we blend the entire thing, put it into the strategy. And then they asked me, can be done? Why not? Why cannot? All right. And then we did just that, but still an experimental stage and see how it goes. But I know this thing work outside there. I know it works because we have been doing it outside. That's what we did. Futuristic. And then you got surprised like, why so ahead? Wow, the wow thing. But the wow thing doesn't happen just like that. It is not chance. It is not pure luck. It's just like hard thinking. The thought process is so hard. So I'm looking at you, the young people, your mind, your brain is still fresh. You can do this. All right. So now what is the different of all thing with prediction? Do we predict future? Is foresight equals to predict? Or strategic planning equals to predict? Future study, is it prediction? I'm telling you, no. Because prediction is a specific statement that says something will precisely happen in the future. Predictions are rarely used in future studies nowadays as they take away individual and organizational agency. Okay, predictions tend to assume the universe is closed, and that is the act of prediction does not change the result. Prediction, if you look up there, preferred future, if you are not careful, when you talk about preferred future can become prediction. That means you really close yourself. You don't want to look at other things, other possibilities. You disown it. You say, no, I don't want to look. I just want this. So that will be prediction, and then you are no longer futuristic. All right, die. You must do that. What if suddenly something come and change the entire landscape? That is where you are in trouble. Because why? You get checkmate. Because of the changing circumstances. All right. So now let's done with the definition. Forget the time horizon. We have that ready. Now I'm introducing to you this is the future wheel. All right. The future wheel, what we do usually on the future wheel is up there, you see the bubble, right? All right. We do we start with the middle, that is the emerging issue. Let me see. I will try to make this big. Okay, I will show you this. Okay, this should be now on your screen. Now, we start with the emerging issue. Emerging issue can be, for example, like if I bring in the case of Tesla, I imagine Elon Musk will emerging issue for Elon Musk will be like sustainable transportation. all right? Sustainable transportation. So so he would put that in the middle, sustainable transportation, and then maybe a few years back he might just said that in the next 5 years we will have even he tried the autonomous car, electric car, and all that. So I think they must have started for quite some time thinking about this. So when we start with the emerging issue, usually we start with something very basic. Okay, so it can be that, or it can be food security put in the middle, or it can be air travel. Let's say if you do something, if you are the boss of Asia, you will say like maybe you say like travel. Then you put traveling, or you put air travel. Yeah, how people travel in the future. Or maybe you can put that as business travel. So how will people travel in business in future? All right, then you can have the first order consequence. Now uh, when I did the first order consequence, I would just say that in the next 5 years people will try. I try to envisage based on what I read, based on what I know, based on what the futuristic love to discuss about. uh, let's say space travel. Let me say space travel in the next 5 years, I think more countries will have space station. Not only US, Russia, Europe, and China, and now more country now will put space station. Maybe Indonesia will have their own space station in the next 5 years, right? And when they have the space station, and then they have their own GPS. Now China have their own GPS, no longer relying on US GPS. You just this month or last month, China finally have their complete global GPS. Their GPS now cover globally, not just certain area like in China, the entire globe. So that's why the US very angry. Okay, because if the China is still using US GPS, that means US can monitor surveillance. But now China says, "Oop, thank you. Now I have my own GPS, cover the entire global. So thank you, no need you." So now cannot surveillance. So now China is totally like closed loop, right? So now you probably in future would want to have your own GPS for your country. I would say that okay, the first order consequences is space travel. Yeah, when it comes to space, we have our own space station, and then maybe the next 5 years, then probably space travel will become frequent, and then maybe people will start putting space station on the moon and on Mars, and then bring another 5 years. People might have rather talking about two homes, no longer my second home in another country, but my second home probably in another part of the solar system. All right, when the knowledge is so advantage, so that can be like one spoke. You see, one spoke of, for example, like space travel. So another spoke, maybe I can look at the angle of, for example, like. How do we travel by space? For example, I would say the mode of transportation to the space. All right, so just now it's like different issues. So I can have like different issue. So the second spoke, the second arrow there, the first order consequences, I can say in the next 5 years, people will have their own private vehicle. Oh no, every country will have their own launching pad in order to go to the space. All right. So China have their own launching pad for their rockets. Of course, US have the Soviet. They have their own like Nevada and all that, right? Where the Kazakhstan people just take off from there. So now most countries have their own launching pad somewhere. So in Malaysia, I would envisage, man, where can we take off the rocket? Probably maybe in Borneo, in Sarawak. Maybe Indonesia can have a joint launch pad in Borneo, one space, dedicated for both. How do you say, the collaboration of rocket launching space station in part of Borneo. So that's part of maybe Asian collaboration. So maybe you will say that okay, for the next 5 years, Asian country might have few launching pad. So it's a collaborative effort. Then another next 10 years, there is 2030. Then collaboratively, we might be having our own maybe space station in Mars, probably, and then you go a little bit further, a little bit further. So now you talk the story first, right? The story first. So these are the emerging issues. Now, once you have that emerging issues, then that is transportation. And then another angle, you can talk about food. All right. So if like going to space, then what kind of food do we eat in space? All right. So in the next 5 years, let's say if we go to space, then what kind of food do we eat? Or alternatively, we can go like best case scenario if we manage to best case scenario, if we go to the space, we can plant the food there, we can cultivate. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, nothing can be cultivated. All right. So we just create, okay, nothing can be cultivated. And therefore the next case would be no food to eat, have to bring from earth. Right. And the best case scenario, you can like converge. You just imagine, go free, go wild, next 5 years, 10 years. And then when you have all the entire story and then you looked at it and then you see where could you swoop in and provide solution. Let's say if there are worst case scenario, what can you do to solve that worst case scenario, the solution? So this is where you thought that, opportunity. So you try to identify opportunities in this, the future spoke, right? All right. So, and now if I go back to this knowledge, what are we talking about here? The main, okay, futures wheel. Sorry there. All right. Right. So it's small now, yeah, small little bit. Invented in 1971. Okay, this is quite old. I wasn't even born at this time when this man came up with this. See, great idea will endure for so long. You see. Now, this was invented in 1971 by Mr. Glenn. And then I liked it so much that he called it a simple technique requiring only blank paper, a pen, and one or more fertile minds. And wonderful. I'm looking at all of you, and I'm sure your minds, all of you, are really fertile. All right. This is where the imagination, let it run wild, but not too impossible. Lah. Okay, still within the possible future. Wild but plausible. All right. If it is almost impossible, like now, hold on, let's say like if you go too wild, for example, like Jules Verne, that's fine, but it will not happen in your lifetime. So you can have two options, like go too wild that you know very well it's going to happen in your lifetime, but you said like but I know this will happen. Or you can go wild, but okay, this is going to happen in my lifetime. Or if it happened in the next 20, 30 years, now you and your gang get up together, start your startup company, and now instead of this thing happening 20 years ahead, you get together and make sure it happened 10 years from now. That is where you get the niche. That is where you become the market leader. So this is the reason I'm teaching you all this. So that the far future that is so attractive, that is so useful, that is so cool, so nice, then you said that, okay, but that happened in the next 20 years. Okay, how about if we get together and we bring in technology, let's try invent this, what if you get together and then say, let's make it happen in the next 10 years. That's what we are talking about here. That's why I'm teaching you future will. That is how you draft your vision. Distant future, you bring it closer, and then that become your new target. Are you with me, young people? The rest, still okay? Still good? Boleh, Faiz? Boleh, ah?
Yes, good.
Right. Okay, it's a bit wild right here. Okay, so now, so I have provided the step here. Nanti, this one is for your group work. Okay, for your group work. When you punya group when you and your group start with your strategic planning for the company you have decided, you start with future will. So let's say lah, you selected Asia. Definitely the emerging issue would be traveling. Okay, so that you try to envisage traveling look like. ada beberapa angle. So you can talk about the kind of aircraft, emerging issue 2020, 2030, 35, 40. And then the kind of food served in the aircraft, they make another spoke. And then the kind of talent that you need, and then the kind of service that you want to provide. So you see, you have nice 4 or 5 spokes of future's wheel. And then from there until you see how nice if we have a physical class, isn't it? You know what? If we have physical class, I'm gonna bring mahjong paper for you guys, and then you can go crazy with markers and all that. I don't know when the class is gonna start, but anyway, let's make the best of this. If you have any question, ask me. Yeah. So, okay, the steps are here. Let me walk you through the step. The main purpose of this tool is to articulate first, second, and third order implications of a particular issue. It helps anticipate what a particular change might lead to. All right, a particular change. Please, yeah, do not. Okay, there is one interesting thing happened 2 or 3 days ago when I was 2 3 days ago when I was with the researcher. When they very nicely they put the imaging issue in the middle, and then the first order they start coming up with solution to invent. For example, if the imaging issue is, let's say, healthcare, they put their quality life healthcare, they put it there, and then the first order they said that to invent better medical device. Problem. I come back and I ask them, okay, you want to invent medical device? What device? For what? Medical device lah, for healthcare lah. Exactly, but for what? None of them can answer me. That's why I said, do not start with solution when you do future will. Just start with the issue. Healthcare. Okay, in the next 5 years, what happened to healthcare? What healthcare we want to talk about? If we say diabetic, let's say, will there be an increase of diabetic patient in the next 5 years? What kind of eating style do we have? Dining out and all that? Will it be going down or going up? And I said, don't know. Okay, then you can use. Then in this case, you can have the first order saying that, okay, maybe you said the more complex diabetes issue. You can write it down, a very complex diabetes issue. What kind of complex diabetes issue? Probably something that cannot be addressed with the current medicine. And then you can have so now you can have, you can have a cabang, a branch. Best case scenario, all right, the current technology will be able to bring down the diabetic patient number because of maybe you say, okay, not because of current technology, maybe of the habit, the lifestyle. People are more educated, more knowledgeable. Then okay, they know how to manage themselves better. They don't eat a lot at night, etc., etc. But that is the best case scenario. But create another branch. Worst case scenario. I know it is bad to eat late at night, but last night, let me tell you, young people, you know what I did last night? I ate ice cream last night, 1 cone of vanilla chocolate ice cream before I go to bed. Why? Because I had such a craving for ice cream last night. It was midnight. Yeah, it was at 12. So I have one ice cream cone I keep in the fridge. I can tell you a story about that. I felt so guilty, but I thought that YOLO, you only live once, YOLO. So I had the ice cream last night. I promised myself I'm not going to have another ice cream for the next 1 month. So so ada difficulty juga tahu, difficulty like moderate. Step 1 is identify a used future. A used future is the emerging issue lah, what we know now, right? For example, like I mentioned just now, the diabetic or Asia, air travel, that is the used future. Air travel now using what? Boeing 747 and all that. So that was the in the middle, the emerging issue. All right. Then identify trends or possible future events or emerging issues. Draw an emerging issue identified in one at the center of the wheel, year 2025. From there, then from the emerging issue, try to project 2025. What could be? What could be? No right or wrong. Okay, don't ask me, doctor, correct or not. I only tell you whether the technique you use is correct. But whatever issue you put there, I'm not going to judge it because none of us have been in 2025 and come back to 2021 and tell each other, wait, not right. Like, I was there in 2025 just now, a few minutes ago. I just come back, now I'm telling you this is wrong. Okay, if anybody does that, I think you need to see doctor. All right. So I think seriously, you need to get treatment. The only thing I can tell you now, technique is correct or not. Okay. Now, number 3, imagine what may happen if this issue is fully manifested. Consider this question. If this event really occur, what happened next? What necessarily goes with this event or trend? For example, like I said, if we have a station in space, hey, what do we eat then? Can we plant vegetable or not? Let's say long bean lah, French bean lah, whatever vegetable. Faiz, your mushroom, can we grow or not on planet Mars? Macam tu, like that. Okay, so those are the things, right? How nice. Then we can have like a bun. What if suddenly, Faiz, on Earth we grow you punya mushroom besar ni je, the size of my hand. But bring the seedling of your mushroom. When we grow your mushroom, it become like big enough to shelter 10 people, like rooftop already. Like, whoa, your mushroom really go. What if, man, like one mushroom can survive us for 1 month? Who knows, isn't it? Yeah. Then, okay. So you see, wow, if that really happened, right? If that, it's like really amazing, really thriving in the moon. Now, what make it so thriving in the moon? Then bring back the whatever the component that is in that planet, bring it back to Earth, then to make sure it equally thrives here back on Earth. Things happen like that. Okay, what are the impacts or consequences? Okay, go mad on that. Go ahead. So these are the steps. First level, draw branches from the center. Dah cakap tadi, the year 30, year 35, and year 40. And the guy who do very detailed research continuing from Mr. Glenn, Professor Glenn, is Inayatullah 2007. Iranian, Iraqi, Lebanese, lupa. So he did that. So I like the way they think, we can ask how a particular new technology might influence us 20 years from now, right? Okay, the rest will be example. So I'm not going to talk about example the rest ni. Takut you pening muntah afterward. Okay, so just very quickly, just to give you an idea, what is this slide? Version 1 is the first version that Professor Glenn did, and then he was not very happy with version 1. He said that there must be a secondary impact, so he built the second version, secondary impact. So the first version, macam he said, too simple. After one thing happen, must lead to another, surely can lead to another. And that is the second version, the second square here. And then he said that, no, not very happy. There must be some connection in between all that, Okay, the second order here from this spoke might have an impact on the first order of another spoke. So the interrelatedness and the fact that life is not linear. That is what the distinguishing between consequences. Next slide to show you then now version 2, where he was like, okay, fine, I'm doing all this future spoke, I'm doing all this future thing, but I'm not really satisfied because why am I talking about this? They finally said, I must be talking impact. If this happened, what is now you look at all that, right? A bit advanced here, but I'm sure you all can stomach this. What would be the cultural impact of this? Wow. For example, like Faiz, we get the example of the mushroom. What would be the economic impact? Like the mushroom is so huge, something like that, right? And then you have the psychological impact, all right? And then you have the public welfare impact, the technological impact, educational impact, political impact, environmental impact, economic impact. What is the meaning impact? Impacts mean something happened and there's change because of what happened. All right. You throw something, and then there's a dent on the wall. Or you drive your car so fast and then you hit somebody's car and you leave some mark on that person's car and your car, and that's impact. Right. There is a change. Something happened and there is a change involved, and that is what we call impact. Can be a good impact, can be a bad impact. So it can go either way. Now, version 3 is a very a little bit complex. We can talk about this next time. So I don't want to confuse you. I will stop with version 1 and version 2. Okay. Should I teach you scenario? What time is it now? I don't want to bore you too much. Scenario 3:30 already. Okay, scenario. So I think I will stop at the future will first so that you just get the hang of future will and future, all the six. How many words did we learn today? 6 words. And we learn about one will where we can build to first order, second order, third order. And just to remind you, even though Glenn and the first version and second version, including Inayatullah, even though they did not talk about years, so what I did, okay, which I sort of like my little invention, I put it into time frame, 5 years interval, so that it's easier for us to think of the context, systematically thinking of future ahead. So every 5 year, how one thing can build upon another. So those are the few things that we learned today. Okay, so let's take a deep breather. Now I would like to open a question. Jiku, do you have any question? Is there anything that you would like to raise? Just anything that comes to mind, uh, relevant or irrelevant, doesn't matter. Okay, so Yanhua, Tesla make the product exclusively, the cost for each product expensive, so Tesla share the vision about mobility in the future. Okay, that's good. That nobody in this era can do, and Tesla focus on the future thing is so the value that Tesla have, especially in market, because for now people want something easier and something will make the mobility more faster. Yanhua, very good, very good. Yanhua, you are really almost there. Okay, a little bit more thinking about it, Yanhua. Okay, now everybody, let's take a look at Yanhua's explanation here. Just a little bit more, because my question was, what sell? I need I need more answer on because. Okay. That is perfect, Yanhua. Tesla sell, but the because because people want something easy and something will make their mobility more faster. Okay, I would say that jawapan after because for now people want something easier. That is somehow about 40% right. 40%. You need to find another 60% to make that perfect. That after the word because. All right. Good, good. So all of you, please try to think about the point I highlighted it there in the chat. Try to continue the sentence. Don't write it wrong. Just whack your keyboard. Come on, type everyone. You feel good after you type something. I am going to run a small. Okay, go ahead. I'm seeing some nice answer there. Go on, go on. I will keep a copy of this later. I would like to see how my young people are thinking. So go ahead. What makes it more valuable? Let me give you a clue. Um, are you guys accounting student or not? Yes or no? Oh no, you're not. You guys are not accounting student, right?
No, no, doctor.
Okay, no. All right. Yeah, I thought accounting student, but you all did financial management, right? Mhm, mhm. So this has because market capitalization is a valuation of a company, how people perceive the value. So your answer should stay close to how valuation is being made, how people value your company. Try to skew your answer towards that. So why is it? What is it that people value? How is it people value? I'm giving you time to take your time. Take your time while I'm trying to. Now I'm going back to 3:45 now. So 'Mean the grouping is done. Okay, I just need to take a look at the vision statement. Mm, Just for the record, we have gone through chapter 5 slide. Have we or have we not? I think we have not, right? Okay, while you are keeping that answer, now I want to go. I just want to I want to complete the vision and mission analysis very quickly. Uh, uh, Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry, my memory is not that apa itu maximized lah these few days ni. I just want to remember, have we gone through this slide before? I remember chapter 1. Have we? I mute or something. Hmm, I might not. Okay. The headphone is killing me. It's like compressing my head, feeling a bit tight. Okay, if that is the case, then what we do is I think I bring forward. I want to run. I want to run a poll very quickly. Hang on. We will do after this. We will do chapter 5 very quickly. Only a few slides that I'm going to show you on that. A matter of technical, very technical, how to differentiate vision and mission. Okay. Password. Why do I need to show password? Do not Google. Just yes, no, very quick. Okay, so 39 of you. Yeah, don't forget your attendance, yeah? 24 of you know it's my life. Okay, I will end the poll now. Yeah, it's Bon Jovi. I love Bon Jovi. Do you guys love Bon Jovi? The guy was the rocker during my time. So, all right, let's see what Bon Jovi has for us today. Let's enjoy that a wee bit. Where's my Bon Jovi? Hold on, yeah. I cari my Bon Jovi. Okay, okay. So ready? Let's listen to It's My Life. Sorry, let's just check. Can you hear that just now?
Yes, doctor.
Yes,
Yes,
doctor.
doctor.
All right. Okay,
Yes.
just sit back and enjoy this. Yeah. Now this was released in the year of 2000. So what year are we now? 2021. 20 years later, right? No, precisely 21 years later. So this is like 20 years ago. You guys still there?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Okay. Now, how do you like the song?
It's now or never.
Yeah, it's now or never. It's really rock headbanging kind of thing. When I was when I was a bit younger at that time, it's like a headbanging things. Really like wow, we memorized this song, and then fast forward 21 years later, some people say this guy sing it better. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Do you see this video now?
Okay, I know.
想在家也有沙龙造型般的秀发，光洗发可能不够，
I know.
全新潘婷护发素含胶原蛋白，
Let's deal with the shampoo first.
一次使用帮助修复明显损伤，在家也有沙龙级秀发。潘婷 No Rinse Conditioner， 再剪乱发，随时随地潘婷。
So whoever needs shampoo, please buy shampoo, okay? Okay, let's enjoy this guy. Are you all still there?
Yes, doctor.
Let's see some of the reaction. Okay, maybe you might enjoy the reaction better. Let me see. Okay, some of the cute reaction that I have. And it should reveal the type of business the firm engages. So I think this is okay for you. I think you have gone through that also last week. Right, this example of vision statement. So later on, you can take a look at this. For example, like General Motors, very cute and very short. To be the world leader in transportation products and related services. All right. Then you have seen Tesla last week as well. All right. Now, moving on, the vision statement is a noun, right? A noun. That means to become what? Mission statement is a statement that usually deal with three things. What do we do? for who, and sometimes it talks about how, sometimes it talks about why. All right. What, for who, the third one, either how or why. That is one way of looking at mission statement. The other way of looking at mission statement is you look at it, when you read it, and then you know that that is the declaration for reason for existence. If you want to know why the organization is set up in the first place, all you have to do is just look at the mission statement, because the mission statement is reason for being, or like what I said just now, reason for existence. And the reason for being or reason for existence is explained through the first thing I said just now, the what, the for who, and the why and how. You see, all interconnected. And all this will answer what is our business and what are we doing actually. It will answer to that. If your mission statement does not answer what is our business, what are we doing, if it doesn't explain for why do we exist in the first place, then you have to revise it until you achieve that. All right. And therefore, mission statement would be consist of, first and foremost, verb, the action word, kata kerja in bahasa Malaysia. Okay, bahasa Indonesia. So kata kerja. Kata kerja in English is verb. Okay, the action word. Right, to do what? Now, right. So, okay, see, this is what I have already explained to you. And I wanted to show you the component of mission statement. So I will skip here. But I wanted you to take a look at this one, number 2. All right. So you would wonder, like, how long should a mission statement should be? Because we know vision should be very short. Okay. You can go as long as 150 words, but sometimes we don't want to go too long, because by the time it's too long, then, half a page, people will forget. What is it that you want to do? That's so long, confused. So try to keep it short and sweet if we have to. But there are some companies who write it long, but they will use then bullets and a number 1, number 2, number 3, right? So they like break it up. Right. Now, number 7 is what you need to look at. Usually there are 9 components. All right. Now, just now doctor say got 3 things in mission statement. Why 9 components? Yes lah. Because the 3 things that I said just now, the what, the for who, the why and how. So this 9 component falls under these 3, what, for who, why and how. So what are the 9 components that fall under these 3 requirements just now? Number 1, the customer. You see customer? For who, isn't it? Products, services, what, isn't it? Market can be what, how and why. Technology can be what, how and why. Concern for survival, growth and profits, that will be why. Philosophy can be why as well. Self-concept can be why. Concern for public image can be why. And concern for employees, the part of the why. You see, why? So many why? Because mission statement is reason for being, reason for existence, what you do. Now, all of this thing is what we do in order to achieve vision, achieve what we want to become. Simple as that. You stick to this principle, you will do all right. Do not confuse your vision and mission statement. There are rules in drafting them. All right. There are criteria in order to look at the vision and mission statement. Vision, what we want to become, and therefore it is noun. Kata nama, noun, to become what exactly. So you have to describe the what, the noun part. Mission statement is the doing part. Okay, therefore you have verb, and that verb will contain information of what, for who, why, and how, and this can be comprised of 9 components of things: the customers, product, and all that. You see that right in front of you, number 7. And because of that, you might be thinking, wow, it must be quite long. Yeah, you can go as long as 150, but there are people who are good with language, you see. they can make things shorter. So this is where sometimes you would bring your best executive to, why don't we make it shorter but not losing its meaning? So that is what I usually do when I do strategic planning. We would go very long, we draft it very long, and then as we go along, the second month, I would make it shorter, and then I would present them a few versions, and then they will realize, yeah, there are 3 versions here. Somehow the first version is short, but it does represent the entire thing. There you go. So then you can have the short mission statement, but when you interpret it, it covers the entire thing, what you want to do for who and how, and you would see 9 components are all in there. So you see something that you do, and it gets better and better with practices, right? These are all the description of the 9 component 1, component 2, there you go, of the customer, product, services, market, technology, all explained here, right? So I'm not going to go all out with it. I have received question like, is it possible to have all 9 components in one mission statement? Well, not easy. As you see in PepsiCo, at PepsiCo, you see 3 components are not described there. Customer not in there. Technology and distinctive competence are not described in there. All right. So how many? 62 words. So the comment, you see, you would be by now, you would be able to look at the mission statement and say, have this component and all that. Please remember the 9 components. And when you look at the mission statement, you would be able to say, customer is here, product and services is here, concept is here, philosophy is there. Sometimes one word can be self-concept and philosophy at the same time. So improve your skill in order for you to be able to see that. Royal Caribbean, all right, so what is the comment there? Statement lacks 6 components. So long, but you see 6 components are missing. So that means whoever is drafting Royal Caribbean mission statement are actually probably repeating words, repeating meanings, and this can be improved further. Now, Avon is one of the best exemplary mission statement. You can see this in the textbook done by Professor David. 58 words, and all the 9 components are there. And as you can see, all right, if you see that our mission is to provide women, so that is your customer, and then quality fragrances, cosmetic and jewelry, that is your products and services, and then go on. You see door-to-door sales representative, you see 7 and 9. You can have 2 components representing one term or one word or one thing. So you can have that. And in your mission statement, you can simply start with to provide. Okay, you don't have to say our mission is, but during drafting, sometimes it is good to have the word like our mission is, so that people feel the sense of belonging. So use the word our, we, and all that. But when you finally put it into the final document, then you can refine it by simply saying, for example, here, you can drop it by saying, like, our mission statement, and then you have the dash, to provide women quality fragrances, etc., and then until the word beauty. So that can be done. All right. So there you have L'Oreal, and there are a few. Okay, this is under exemplary, slightly longer, 85 words, but all 9 components are there. That is all the slide. So it's very short. Any question on the vision and mission? I hope that is short and sweet, but very sharp. You can remember it. Okay. Vision statement, what you want to become. Mission statement. If let's say you forget everything, what is mission statement? Like how you want to achieve vision. That is the mission statement. Mission is a verb, and basically, the explaining for why you exist in the first place, the reason for being or the reason for existence. So answering the what, for who, why, and how, and it contains addressing 9 components that you saw just now. So vision and mission statements, very simple. The whole chapter 5 is covered. Now, what is the connection between Fitch's will and the vision and mission statement? Very strong connection, because the vision says who do you want to become? Okay, what do we want to become, or who do we want to become? And that the what do we want to become is anchored to the future will. And that's how you go to the future, because what do we want to become? The vision means something in the future. Now, it's not easy to make a statement and saying that this is the vision. That's why some people's vision will be like very short-sighted. Like this is your vision in the next how many years? Like, all right. So in order to have a very, inspiring vision and something that can be achieved is when you do futures will, because you build it upon on the emerging issues. You see. And then you know that there is a trajectory actually towards where you want to become, and then the mission statement becomes like, now what do we do in order to get there, right? The mission and vision statement. So therefore, number one, you must understand the futures will. In order to do your futures will well, you must be aware of your surrounding. Your general knowledge must be very good. Watch the TV, watch the news, understand the news, look at the when you look at your handphone, once in a while, look at Channel News Asia, look at Forbes, Times, the Star, Berita Harian. Look at that, and look at what happened in Asia, what happened in Europe, what happened in US, and look at the business news, look at the political news. Look at important policies that people discuss, look at problems and troubles, look at trends, what is new and what is exciting. All right, look at what people are fighting about. Why is China not happy with Taiwan, right? So what is Taiwan doing? All right, so and then what else do you have? The New Zealander, then you have the Australia. Just be alert of that, and then try to connect that to where you are now, and then look then into the future. Will all this somehow in the future, in the next 10 years, meet at some point, converge? And then, do you have a role in that? Probably. So that is how, that will help you in building future will. So you young people are going to be the future leaders. So it will be, beneficial for you to start from now to think on that kind of a horizon, thinking of the future. Because if you think ahead of the future and you said that this will be a good future, the alternative future will be the preferred future, because you think this is good and this is something you can do about it. Imagine if you put your heart and soul into it, you make it your vision statement, you harness everybody, the talent, the finance, whatever resources that you have in order to achieve that. This is where you then, what you do is actually shaping the future. You will be able to shape the future if only you are very clear with the preferred future. And that whole thing, which is not easy, I can tell you, but not impossible. Okay, it is difficult. And it might not give you happiness, but it is meaningful. That's why we do it. It is difficult. It might cause us unhappiness. It will give us failure. Try again, fail again, try again. Elon Musk cried many, many times. But why do we do it? Why do we do difficult things? Because we said just now, because we know it's good, because it's meaningful. It makes you a better human. To strive for something difficult, give it all out using the wisdom and the knowledge that you have, harness your network and put it together, and then you begin to shape it. And then when people looked at you and see such conviction and confidence in you, that you said that, this is it, all right? But have to be careful, not to cause not to make it into prediction and, have a lot of disowned future. Okay, we all know the words by now, yeah? If you forget, go and read again. I will provide you the slide. All right. And then when people are confident with you, you see, this is where the value is very high. You will be valued because of that. Now, coming back to my question, why is Tesla? Now, listen up, young people, listen up. Why is Tesla? Because this is discussed this morning at the international news and the BBC. At the BBC and the international few discussion around the world. Why is Tesla, despite not selling as many cars as Ford, but are now valued way, way higher than Ford? All right. The number of cars, very few. Some is not even manufactured yet. It's a future order, right? Hertz ordered 100,000 car. Just order only. But why is it valued? Somebody is valuing, putting a price tag. If you want to buy Tesla now, you have to pay 1 trillion US dollar. Baru you can own Tesla. Only now you can own Tesla. You look at Ford. If you want to sell Ford now, how much do you think Ford will cost? A small fraction than Tesla. Why? Some of you here answer because Tesla fulfill demand as consumer wanted, achieving the futuristic value in automotive. Okay, that's the word there. Very good there, Akmal. Futuristic value. I got market less than market enterprise value of Tesla greater than Ford. High market is part of it, yes. Tesla is a risk taker, show good passion and improvement in automotive technology. Okay, you all have that. Have your own niche electric car which focus in using sustainable energy instead of gasoline. Yep. All right. So it contains all the component that you have here. Many people invest in the future, so they spend their money to keep up Tesla's future company. That's why Tesla more valuable. Keep thinking of that line of thought. Very good. Tesla have advanced technology compared to other. Okay, moving towards achievable future. Hazel here, achievable future, and Tesla has proven that they are capable of doing this. Okay, because Tesla produced, I'm going up actually. Tesla produced the car that have futuristic feature. There's a future word there. Okay, right. Now summing the entire thing up here, all of your description there is yes. Those are the yes answer. If this is the final exam, I would give marks here. But the summing up of that is that when investors value company, Faiz, you might want to hear this, Faiz, whoever wants to become a business person in future, when people look at your company and try to value your company, they will not value you based on the present or on your past. They will value you based on the future. That is why, are you with me, young people? I just want to make sure that you hear me.
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah, everyone. Okay. Tesla is being valued by whoever is valuing them, the investors, by the market, based on the future value, not based on the present value. That is why I keep telling you just now, how come, even though Tesla not producing, manufacturing as many cars as Ford, but still the market cap is very high because of the future value. The price tag, the label that is being attached to Tesla now is based on the future, not based on the current, how many car you manufactured, not based on the past record that you have. Your history means nothing now. So it's a very, so that's why I am teaching you the futures wheel, even though you don't see futures wheel in the textbook, in the course information. Are you with me, everyone?
Yes, doctor.
All right. So in your work, so when you prepare your strategic plan document, I want to see the futures wheel done by your group and dedicate one page, for you to do futures wheel. Okay, because people will bank their money based on if they see future in you, not if they see your not looking at your track record. When I went to Malacca, we did strategic planning. Most people, when they do strategic plan, they will ask, well, what is the best line? Do we benchmarking or not? Benchmarking. This guy is talking about 0 to 1. Creating a super niche. Super niche. That means like being the one out there is like from 0 to 1. When you are starting from 0, that means no one else thought about it before. Are you with me? So if there is 0, you want to benchmark against who? Are you with me? No one. No one. So don't benchmark when you are this way. When you do features wheel, sometimes you will find that no one to benchmark. But then you have to have another. Okay, then you have to look. Is this a plausible future or not? All right, plausible future. And this is the thing that you can learn a lot in future. I do hope when you do your master or your PhD, maybe some of you can journey with me. Let's do this from 0 to 1. All right. But what about if somebody is already invented? All right. So that one is according to Peter Thiel from 1 to n. So there are two here. You can have a super niche if you are from 0 to 1. No need to benchmark. There is no baseline. No baseline. Totally something new. All right. That is one super niche. Can you have a niche or super niche if it is 1 to n? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Provided you are way, way, way better than others. So this is why from 1 to n, usually either you fight based on price, or you fight based on technology, or you fight based on mass production. Now for Elon Musk, he is fighting all this at the same time. You know how amazing this is, Tesla, young people? Because the idea of a car is not a new idea. Agree, disagree? If you say car, what? So he is inventing, it's like what he's doing is car, transportation. It's a 1 to n actually. But then he up it another level, the 0 to 1 electric vehicle. Even that as well actually is a 1 to n. But why is it, Elon Musk is so good? He added up the fact that Hertz gave explanation that they believe that only Tesla has the scalability, can produce at mass production because they have the technology. So you must have the fundamental, not just the surface knowledge, not the surface technology, but the fundamental technology. You go all out, not merely copycat. So this is where the 0 to 1, the fundamental knowledge, the idea of electric vehicle, and then the idea of renewable energy that Elon Musk, he would not just talk about electric vehicle, but he also, look into renewable. And where would you get the electric from? Even that, Elon Musk was thinking about that as well. So you would be comfortable when you talk to Elon Musk. You know very sure that he will deliver if you order something like that. That's what the investor said. Not I said, the investor said. All right. So there you go. What time do we have now? Here it's 4:20. I am supposed to give you the case study. Now 4:20. I want to do this class. Okay, tell you what. What if I give you the case study, just one case, now individually, you will try to do it and complete it by tomorrow, 12 noon. Is that okay? What do you do is the case that I'm giving you, you just look at its vision statement and the mission statement, and you try to comment it as per the slide in chapter 5, which is very simple and very easy. Is that okay for you for your individual work? Submit by tomorrow? Hello?
Yes, doctor. Okay.
Very doable, right? All right, very doable, yeah. So don't worry. Maybe after class today, perhaps I will need a little bit of time to upload. The network seems to be sometimes it's okay, not okay. But this work you can do this depends on whether how you want, between 30 minutes to 1 hour for you to do this. So just dedicate that tomorrow or maybe tonight to complete it. I'm gonna give you one case. So okay, let me see. Yeah, I need to make sure the itinerary is covered today. Let me see what's the itinerary like. Okay, let me see. I have to make sure these guys are not talking again. My YouTube. So here, folks. Alamak. I'm looking at my itinerary. Okay. Now, all right. So that is one, the individual work. So I will upload that later. I will upload the case and you will prepare that, the vision and mission. And do not worry about the template, but I can provide the template for you. Then you just fill it in. So your work will be there. Let's make it standardized. Now, the most important thing is let's start our project. Our project will begin with your project. Okay, I want us to start early. All right. So now we are coming to the end. Right? Number 3, we discussed it already just now. Yeah. Now we're coming to the end. Your group details. That means okay. Are you with me? Are you looking at this itinerary? I'm looking at the end now. Looking at the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. Now you look at the end. Kenapa pula I have screw somewhere there? Hold on, there's a picture of the screw. Cannot remove the screw. Yeah, must be in the background. Let me see. Okay, don't worry. So the group details, and I have your group member. So now, what I need you to start doing is the future will for the company you have selected. Okay, prepare the future will, and that I will provide you the slide which I show you just now. You prepare the future will, and I think I would now give you this one. This is example of how we prepare it in a document, which we will present at the end of this month to the top management. Yeah? Just let me show you this one. Okay. Now, do you see this PowerPoint slide? Okay. And Envision X. Wow, very, very, very ambitious. I call it Envision X. When I introduced it the other day, everybody was just like, then I told them, what is the meaning of X? X means something, but don't know what. Okay, so that's why Envision X. So something, don't know what, you guys have to come up with it. Right. So now this would be roughly the table of content that you will have, but I think I need to refine this for you guys. But definitely your table of content will have to have you would have to have in your case lah, message from the CEO ataupun whoever the top bosses. And then you might have, let's say if you have two top bosses, and then you can have two message from another person. And then next will be the executive summary. Executive summary, there is a technique on how to write executive summary, but we will come to it. And then this would be your strategic framework, X strategic framework, all right? And then Foresight, bringing the future closer. This is the theme that I have for the university. Now you can change this. You can say that make the future happen. You can change this, right? Make it happen. Right? Up to your, I call your creativity. So this yellow thing, you can change this. Now, all right. So this weekend, until we meet next week, I need you to prepare your future will with your group members. All right. So this is your alamak. Let me find. Okay, let's choose blue. So this is your first. You kickstart your project by preparing 1.1 futures will technique. The entire thing up there, message from CEO. You don't have to do it yet, but you can prepare the skeleton, executive summary. You don't have to do that yet. Just start with the blue one, futures will technique. So prepare this. When we meet next week, next Thursday, what date is it? 18. Okay, so I would like to see on the 18th, you present your futures will on the 18th. Okay, present it. All right. And then once we see your features will, then I teach you how to do scenario and backcasting. And then we go back to, then from there, so this will be, let me show you how to do. This is step 1. This will be step 2. This will be step 3. Okay, we don't have vision and mission. UTM aspiration for. So okay, I need to change this a bit. Okay, looks like I have to amend this along the way. This will be no. I think we need to do somewhere in between this, and then we have to do vision and mission drafting. Vision and mission. Right. I think it has to be aspiration that the roadmap back to the future. Okay, I think it has to be here. We will have corporate group strategy. So here would be strategic. I think this will be strategic framework. Strategy framework for you guys. So this will be step 4. hold on. This is your vision and mission statement. Okay, so you see, this is how we do this thing in. So this will be step 4. So this is what we're going to do next. Let me put different color to this. I will put pink to this. Okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Now, all right, because this week we talk a lot, so we only do step 1 for you. This is your group work. Step 2, 3, and 4, we will do this next week. All right. Once that done, and then we will step 4, inspiration for 2025. This will be part of step 4, actually. Part of the step 4. Okay, part of. We will reorganize this later. Don't worry about that. Up, smaller. I think this is like one step smaller. Yeah, it's too huge. 22, 22, 20. Oh, lama. Okay. 22 lah, seragamkan lah. Easier. Right? So part of step 4. So you see, roadmap, back to the future. Okay, all this aspiration for the future. Aspiration for the deep dive SWOT, vision, mission statement, and roadmap back to the future. So this would be so that you know. Okay. All right. So so this will be step 5. Yeah. Hold on. This will be step 5. Step 5. There you go. Let me see. Yep. Step 5. Yep. Step 4. Step 5. All right. Step 4. Step 5. Okay. So I think we are good. So we start with step 1. Along the way, all this will be amended. So action plan will be step 6. Then we have communication and all that. But okay, we work on this step first. Yeah. So do not worry about the this format. What we will do is like we will have something saying something like this. Okay, let's say this is your table of contents, and then the next thing you would have like Foresight. So you will have a few pages in between here for your message, executive summary, etc. But you will have like one page like this doing in your final report. Your final report will look like this. All right, the future wheel, and then some description to that. Question is, can you have more than one future wheel? Go ahead. You can have more than one future wheel. And then as long as finally you said that, okay, we will settle on this one, the rest will be KIV. That is quite okay. You can put 1 or 2 futures wheel in your final report. Doesn't matter. All right. So one future wheel is done. Next, what we will do is this one, the foresight. We do scenario technique. Scenario technique done, and then we do the backcasting technique. Once backcasting done, and then we do the strategy. So, but before the strategy, but because this is for UTM is very advanced already. We already have the mission and vision, so you don't see the mission and vision statement here. All right. So I need to amend this especially for you guys later. All right. So don't worry. All you have to worry about is to come up with this one particular slide only. Even if it is not finalized, doesn't matter. So long as you have the graphic of this thing, then you have to discuss. Are you exhausted enough by now? Okay. Okay. It's 10 minutes to 5, so we are coming to the end of our discussion today. So very glad that I have shared quite a number of things with you, including introducing our new friend who sings very well, right? How do you find the entire thing so far? You can write a comment here. Now, my question to you, did you learn something new and very, very useful today? Just write it down over there. I would like to hear from you. Or is it something that, yeah, I know that before, I have heard it before. This is the 20 or 100th time I have heard about it before. Yeah. What do you think? Mm. Mm. Thank you, Yuman. Yeah. Let you guys type it there. I'm going to compile this comment later on. My question is, did you learn something new, and what is good about it? Okay, did you learn something new, and what is good about it? Did you learn something new today? What is it good or great or not so great? If it is it, okay, or not so great, maybe. Alamak, not so great. How to spell that properly? All right. So could I see your response in all here? Good, Faiz. We look forward to your mission statement, Faiz. Okay, everyone, please chip in your comment here. Remember your course information. Somehow, towards the end, when I give you final marks, there is a mark for your participation. So I think, can you please help yourself and help me by making comments here so that I can produce this as an evidence that can support me why I give you good marks for participation. Full mark is 5. So please go ahead and type before we end today. You still have like around 7 to 8 minutes. And I know your name is there, so your name will be shown there. All right. So allow me to have evidence that you are because if I can tell all of you participating, but I need to attach. Right. So please, everybody, write down while I'm grabbing some water. And please, your attendance as well. I'm going to check your attendance after this. You just hang on. So the rest of you, please write down your comment there. I would like to see your name because it would be very hard to give full marks when there is little evidence of, for example, like participation. It would not be sufficient just to put pictures of Zoom in the, in what do you call it? In the final course file preparation. It would be good to have all this comment by you guys. Now let me see the attendance while you are doing this. So keep typing, everybody. Just type in, right? Because your name is there. I can see your name. I will spend some time. No, I need to look at the attendance. Okay, for attendance, 42 out of 44. How many actually are you guys? I wonder. Let me find out. How many are you guys actually? Right. Internet is slowing down as well. Forty-two out of 44. So academic. I need to have kehadiran kelas. Attendance. Hold on, yeah. I'm downloading your attendance just in case somebody missed out. So let's make sure that all names are in there. But there are 44 of you, so that means 2 are not taking attendance yet. And who are these 2? Lit Peng, Lutfi, and Lutfi. Sorry, Lutfi and Lim Lit Peng. Mana ni? Lutfi, are you there? Lutfi. I'm sorry, Lutfi. Where is Lutfi? Mana Lutfi? Guys, Lutfi in here. And Lim Lit Peng.
I think they're not here. Didn't see their name.
Okay, that means truly and honestly, these 2 are not here, right? Yeah, but I saw Lutfi's name just now. I thought I saw his name just now. It's just such a shame that if he was in, then after that not taking attendance. Because sometimes the university can be very particular about attendance. Oh, Hani, nice introduction. You start with, this is Nurul Hani, my battery died. Poor thing. Lim Lit Peng.
Doctor, what is the time for the submission for the tomorrow class?
You can do that. Actually, I will not be very strict on that because I know sometimes the network is not okay. Let's just say we give it whole day tomorrow. Is that okay? Maybe till 5 or evening time? Whatever
Okay.
helps. Okay. All right. Guys, I will set it probably at 5 p.m. But let's say you need to extend it until night time. No worries. The only thing is that the thing will show you are like 1 or 2 hours behind. But but that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry. So long as you do some good thinking. That's what we need. Good thinking. All right. So not to worry about that. And yeah, my worry now is Lim Lit Peng and me. Lutfi ni. Okay.